Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Decisive Campaigns, Barbarossa, episode number 12. I actually recorded some of this last time, so without further ado, we'll jump right back in.
Army Group South. Well, we already kind of talked about it, that Army Group South has some logistical difficulties here. 11th Army did not receive full supply, and all of its subordinate units are now suffering from a lot of penalties in recovery or something, because almost none of them have enough readiness. I mean, these are the three that were attacked, so they're obviously a little bit weaker, but even the ones that, weren't attacked last turn are a little weaker themselves too. Well, let's start with the easy ones. The easy stuff is 11th Army and 4th Romanian. 3rd Romanian's pretty easy. 17th and all the people in the north, there's so many options, there's so much open space. It's actually kind of a puzzle to figure out what's best to do there. But for now, let's start with doing some of the easy stuff, which is moving our units forward. You can see movement in mud. It's pretty abysmal. We have Odessa surrounded, and I think that this is actually a pretty good candidate for, as I mentioned before, the artillery. Somebody actually mentioned to me using the siege artillery on Riga, and that's actually another very good idea, I think. So I may end up doing that. One thing I didn't show closely enough probably in the history, but if I think I just go to the very end, it should have been here. There was this HQ that was moving up the... So there, Baltic HQ, that should be it. Yeah, this is it. So it's moving up, Anyway, why am I pointing this out? Well, I think that we might try to catch that. This Tortuga is... We'll cover that when we get to Army Group North. I don't know why I'm so bogged down in that for the moment, but... yeah, oh yeah, that's the place. Riga is the place where I would want to otherwise deploy my siege artillery. But there's not much we can do with the force, so that we're done with that. In the middle area, we have mud. Yeah. So, apparently, we can only move forward with the 14th, which is a very weak Romanian army division. So that means that in order to try to buffer this very weak unit, what we can try to do, because see, nobody else can actually get up there, but some of my units can get over to the hex southwest of them, which would, I think, prevent this massive stack from attacking that one lone unit, which would basically be leaving them to die. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move the 50th infantry forward like this. I'm going to move, okay, so we want the worst one, 54, to move over. Is 54 the worst? Yeah. So the 54th is going to get a small reprieve from the front lines. And these guys are both 40, 61 here is actually at 40 as well. So we'll move that one north, and we'll move the 68 in here. Now we have 40 and 40 and 57 and 40. I'm looking at entrenchment. So that means the 261s, the 68 and 57, it's very balanced. I don't know if they're going to attack us again, and if they do, maybe it'll still be successful. But I can't help but wonder if maybe having 3 infantry in the same hex was like, giving us a stacking penalty. I mean, I'm sure it was. Was that playing a part in our defeat? I mean, not that we were defeated, but we just took extra losses. I'm going to try to prevent that, right? Okay, over to 3rd Romanian. Well, we have our forces tangled up a little bit here. We have some 17th over here, but we also have some 3rd Romanian over there. We're going to start disentangling these folks. I'm going to move this 34th all the way back. Let's see, I want to... No, I think I'm not going to move them. Yeah, well, I want to swap them still, so let's do that. But let's also... I want one of these 2 mountain divisions to go over. We'll take the 4th mountain and move them over to defend the headquarters. So what's really important right now is that we don't lose our supply line. And it's quite possible for them to just step forward and attack. They could do the same thing to 2nd mountain, but the good news is if they do that, all they're going to do is take a hex which is inconsequential. So strategic value, much higher. Not only do we want to prevent our the headquarter units from taking losses, which is a bad thing to begin with, but we also want to make sure that we don't lose the logistical supply line. Assuming that we get supply back, poor 11th Army will be able to actually distribute the supplies to people. So we hope that it happens next turn. Otherwise, we're basically static in the south because of the mud. And the mud is very effective. Now, we're moving to the north side, and there's so many options here. We have almost 7,000 fuel, so there's really the sky's the limit as far as what we can do. I think I'm going to be pretty bold, and I'm going to move all the way into this forest here, so we can really start eking off the remainder of the Soviet territory. I'm going to move from the back forward first, so this unit can get all the way over there. I mean, that's crazy. I guess we'll move him right here instead. Just keep pushing that front. You can move here. You can move there. So let's have the 63 go down and this one go up so we can get the biggest spread. That's for those folks. Now these guys might actually be able to move further forward if we don't have any zone of control from these two units. And these are definitely two units that I want to attack. We also are going to want to attack Venezia here. The challenge is, do we want to attack them? How do we want to attack them? I think we're going to try to use the 6th Army units, because we have one here, which can move down and attack from the southwest. We might as well just put that one there for now. We have the 298th, which can go down and attack from the forest. And then we have the 9th Infantry, which can attack from the north. So we can actually attack this from 3 sides with the 6th Army. And I don't think there's any other 6th Army units capable of reaching and helping out. Yeah, not. So that's probably what we should do. Now, if we attack with everyone, this is the tough call, you know. We get only a 20% concentric bonus, but we attack with, you know, like 30% more people, or yeah, roughly 30% more people. This is a really tough call. I'm not sure whether it's better to do the concentric bonus and take the extra attacking, because, you know, what I would like to do is, you know, have my cake and eat it too. If we're going to attack with the blue infantry, what we probably should have done is, maybe we still can do it. No, we can attack from the northeast as well. That would really have sweetened the deal. So I'm just going to do the attack without the Panzer Group division, and we'll hope that this just goes well. Alright, well, we did get one broken. We took some losses, though, to be fair. 1,000 losses, but, you know, we inflicted 3,400, 1,400 conscripts. Unfortunately, the conscripts are still alive with a good amount of readiness. The garrison I'm talking about survived, and it has 4,600, so what I wanted to do, 37 readiness is actually a decent amount. What I was hoping to do is just punish these guys. So by pushing them out of Venezia, we, well, one, we can take the city, that's great, they can't blow the bridge, so that's good news, obviously. But the other thing I was hoping to do is actually push this garrison south, because if we push them south with any kind of unit, can we do that from the north? Damn. If we could push them south, then I have an armor here and here, 13 Panzer Division, you can see we can go all the way down to this point right here. Now, I don't want to use 13th Panzer Division to do that, because if we did, then, well, they won't be able to do the attacks up in the north that I want them to do. 9th Panzer cannot do it, they can only attack from the northwest. And 11th Panzer is the last option, but they can also not attack from the northwest, they can only attack from the north. Now, if I just did their attack from the north, that would probably be successful. They still have a little bit of AT left, and, you know, even the conscripts have a chance, you know, 15, to destroy tanks. And, you know, what we probably are better off doing in this case is taking our plus 90% bonus on the 111th and just seeing how this goes. Just, okay, well, first of all, it's good that we conquered that. So we can get here right now. It may behoove us to move here before the division falls back, because if we don't, we might end up paying zone of control if we push them back. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm being very aggressive, but I think this is all going to work out. Hopefully. Now let's do the attack. And I don't think, by the way, that any of these... Yeah, none of those units can assist, so it's just one-on-one. Kind of a tough call. I might not do it. Like, part of me has wanted to do it, but then now part of me is thinking, you know what, it might not be a good idea. What we can do instead is probably man either the road to the north, or we'll probably at least want to squeeze somebody into this fortification. And yeah, it looks like nobody else can do that, so we could just get one unit, like, even though it's a little bit lopsided, we can get the 17th Army. Actually, the 17th, where are you going to stay? So now we want to move you probably here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you no longer have any units further south or further east in the south than Chernovitz. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You could move forward one more, but that would be a pretty vulnerable hex. In fact, it's only a vulnerable hex because this stack of units is sitting just northwest of Proskuro. I think it's going to be a pretty painful, bloody battle, but I think we would be probably better off attacking that hex, because we can get it from 3 sides. They have a good amount of people there, so we're going to take some losses. Just don't know if we're going to be able to get Proskuro unless... I mean, I guess we could just keep shifting. The other downside of not attacking that unit is that we've actually completely finished. We're 1 hex away from the front as far as the rail conversion goes. So if we take this hex, it is going to allow us to push the railroad a little further next turn. For sure, we get 2 guaranteed hexes, but we'll only be able to convert 1 unless we attack it. Oh, I had to pause and think about this. This was a true puzzle. Okay, I think I know what I'm trying to do. Gonna shift the First Panzer Group's 111th Infantry northeast, actually. The 100th Light Infantry is going to move over to the fortification. I did want to make sure we took this. It was just a little surprising this is the unit that ends up doing that. We have a couple Lithuanian units, light infantry, but a couple of Slovenian in this case. 17th Army units that we can move. So this one, we can get them, well, first of all, let me shift. So this 68 is going to go, let's see, 2 maybe? The 67 here is definitely going to shift to the southeast. And now we have 4 units we can choose from to occupy these 2 hexes. We just want to do it in a kind of nice way. Well, it makes sense for the 257th to go here, because that's 2 hexes for them either way. What we might want to do, I mean, I would like to get better, yeah, I think I want higher combat strength units north of the city, because I think it's Polos, right? Proskuro, yeah. First Slovenian's going to move over here and support on the arch. And that's good. We could have moved this unit down south one more, and we even could have attacked it, but I think we'll wait for the 3 sides of surround here, and we'll just play the defensive game. I hope, and by the way, we have one more thing to do. We have 3 divisions in this hex, and we only have 2 here. Now this one is a little less vulnerable because one of the attacking hexes would be over a river. So I hope that it's not as threatened, but we have a 65 and a 66 there. They're already maxed out on their entrenchment. We also have an armor division here, which I'm not quite sure what yet to do. It looks like all of the 17th Army are within command radius, so we're good with those. Okay, the next thing is what to do with all of these armored that were stuck. Now they're not stuck, so we can move them. Well, first and foremost, I think it's absolutely necessary. 68. So that is actually the weakest out of all 3 of them, which is a good sign if your weakest is a 68 strength. We're going to move this one down to protect the 11th Panzer and their very bold action moving forward. And you can see very clearly that this is almost shut. I don't think that the 2 headquarters here are going to be able to move. They could definitely move these 2 hexes. If it's mud next turn, and I'm not sure it will be, but if it is mud for them, that's definitely the most they'll be able to move. But if it's not mud, I don't know. Let's see, this can be, what's their movement? We can, Soviet staff are, what kind of movement are they? They're infantry. I'm going to assume that they move at the rate of infantry people. So infantry will move, yeah, for fields, it's 25 for them. and then plus 10, so it's 35. Yeah, they can move, definitely not, well, they can do 30, 30, yeah, they can move 3 hexes, damn. Alright, anyway, we hope that they won't get that far, but if they get 3 hexes, we'll just do the whole thing where they move and then we catch up with them, and eventually our armor will overtake them. Just the sooner the better, right? I don't want to play that game for forever. Alright, now we have a couple more movements to do here. We got to take care of these guys, and it's kind of a tough thing what to do. So what I think we'll do is start off with some armor from the rear. The 9th Panzer Group, or 9th Panzer Division, can move forward to one of these 2 hexes, and then who's my helper? Oh yeah, the Hungarian Cav. So 30 to move there, 55. It's probably better. So 30 versus 55. So it's an extra 25 versus being an extra 15. So we'll do this. And we're going to do an attack. This is kind of surprising, right? We're going to do an attack with actual horses, cavalry, and our Panzer Division, our tanks. Both of those guys are going to attack 34th Tank Division. Hope this goes well. Okay, we lost 2 tanks, and they didn't lose much of anything, so that was not, I would say that was not a good attack. We lost 10 Panzer IIIs. Didn't lose any Cav. Oh well, I feel it's still probably the right thing to do because, you know, we want to move forward and do these attacks. In fact, we now can move the 25th down over, in fact, they can move them all the way over here. And we could do another attack. I think we do want to do another attack to isolate. How much movement points do you have? And this is... Okay, I'm not sure we're going to have enough to do 2 attacks. So we might have to bring another attack group over. Yeah, this is doable, I think. Anyways, we're going to attack the 34th. We could cut them off, but I think it's actually better just to get them out of here. So I'm going to do attack from 2 sides. The Cav and the motorized now. For against a depleted unit, we get a plus 40% concentric bonus for attacking on opposite sides. I don't think that we'll push them back in the bear. And that was very good. Didn't lose anybody. Destroyed a lot of their AT guns, as well as another handful. Most of them remaining T-26s. I'll take it. And yeah, they didn't fall back there. That's fine. I didn't expect them to. And in fact, we'll hold the road because no sense in moving further south. Unfortunately, we can't really do this attack as nicely as I was hoping. What I want to do is get some sides of surround on them. It's 35 to do this. Well, let's get it. It's 60 to do that, which is a little more painful. Where are our other... Yeah, this is just our headquarters, which is definitely going to have to move forward. In fact, just as a reminder to myself, I'll move that there. You guys probably can't attack. Yeah, you can only attack from these 2 sides, which is where the 13th can already attack. Ah, the 13th could be the... Well... This is interesting. Debate. I'm just going to sit here and debate all day. Okay, why don't we move the 16th motorized around and attack from here. How far can you guys move? You can move pretty far down that way. Okay, so let's just... The best of these guys, which is actually the Hungarian, is going to come in and attack from here. And the 16th motorized is going to come around on this side, and we'll do the attack, so we get 3 sides of surround. In fact, we could even bring in our other one. Does anybody else want to attack? Got any volunteers? No, I'd rather have this motorized push down the road here. I at least want to see how we're doing over there. And I think these 3 will be enough. Yeah, we have a 60% concentric bonus. We're at 3 to 1 as far as combat strength goes. So that's, I think all those things tick the boxes for me. Did actually take 2, but those are Panzer IIs, right? Yeah, we took 10 Panzer II losses. That's probably acceptable for the fact that we killed 10,000 infantry and the entirety of the motorized division, which means their mortars, their tanks, their AT, and their trucks. Yeah, that's a success. I will take 2 tanks for a motorized division any day of the week and twice on Sunday. That's phenomenal. Who should move in? Well, I don't know. There's definitely some merit to just staying on the road, but then there's also merit to moving further east. In fact, the 13th Panzer here doesn't think that they're done. We could shift them over. It's only going to be 30, and we could attack them. That should just shatter that. And we have 3,500 fuel remaining. Because fuel's coming in, let's just go ahead and do this attack and see if they break. They did! Oh, perfect. And that is a hex we'll move in and occupy. In fact, we now see that Cherkasy has a garrison. But this was really good. We cleared the area around Kiev now. We have no real threats of being counterattacked. I want to move and push and see how far we can go. Now, mind you, we have to stay within the limits of our headquarters. There's mud to our north. I think I'll move one more, which we can do. And that's, yet again, another just free hex. That's amazing. Man, I'm really happy about that. I wanted to see how far we can go, and the answer is, I mean, there doesn't appear to be a limit. It just seems like we can go as far as we want. I mean, if we had the movement points, I wouldn't do this because we want to stay within our command HQ, but is the road to Kursk even occupied? It's unknown. Maybe not. Alright, let's move up the remainder of these folks. Oh, I'll move here. Well, maybe they'll be involved in fighting in the south, so let's keep that one a little further south. Let's move starting from the back. You don't have you probably were deployed this turn, so you don't really have that much movement points. Move you here. You have a lot more, and that is probably good for us to keep you in the south then. Although we do want some. Can any of these units actually get into? No. Okay. Where's your movement capability? Okay, you can at least go here, and then you can go. I don't know. We'll move you over there. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think we'll move these guys forward because it's probably better. These roads are only running north-south. We're not... Well, I guess this unit might be needed in the south next turn. We only have 2 that way. Just don't know. I'll revisit that. I'll come back to them. And actually, okay, so we have the 14th Panzer Division way cut off, but that's fine. We can actually use. So if we're going to use it, what's the tank line look? Our truck line: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't want to go any further. We essentially need to relocate from Lvov up to Kiev now, which is it's like we just moved. But yeah, we need to move again because we're already extended well beyond. So I don't want to move any further. For now, let me just move the 14th Panzer. Oh, we can actually move them all the way over here. That's not too bad. It only takes a very minor amount of fuel to do it because they are moving along good roads. So that's probably the end of our turn in the south. Really good movement. I'm very happy with the results here. I mean, the whole area of Kiev just looks to be entirely ours. And this is a big pocket, too. This is an enormous pocket. I didn't really pay attention to this, but it's a total pocket, too. We actually have it completely cut off. 7, 10, oh my gosh, that's 9, 19, 21, 24, 26, 28, 31, 32 divisions are within this pocket. That is, I mean, 1.5 times, I mean, 50% larger than any other pocket I've made. So this is really juicy. We'll see if we can hold on to it, It's hard to get the really big ones to actually stick, but we have a good fighting chance here. We're going to dive into the north next. I don't think there's too much to do here. We're just going to juggle around a few things. We'll attack this unit with both 2 divisions, just to hopefully push them out. Wow, okay, that certainly works. You don't have the ability to do another movement, but everyone else is going to attack the city. And we should be able to wipe these guys out. Oof. Took some losses here. And actually just barely won that one. Still, 800 is a good exchange for over 10,000. Even though it's only, I generally try to think of it as only Soviet infantry. The conscripts, it's kind of like an infinite number, and 6,000 less of infinite is, still infinity. It doesn't really matter. But the 5,000 infantry, that's very meaningful. So I can probably call this more like 5 to 1. A little bit more, 6 to 1 I guess, but it's good that we got these guys cleaned out, but it's, painful the way it happened, I guess, a little bit. Yeah, they have no hexes up here now. So anybody who can move out of here should, and nobody can. Okay. Next order of business is what to do with Riga. What we're going to be doing in general, in fact, a lot of the planning I have is based on surrounding Jakobstad this turn. Kind of gave everyone over here, the Soviet forces, a chance to surrender, I guess, or to retreat. Surrender is always welcome, but no, man, just for them to move north, get out of here. But they didn't, and maybe that's a good idea too, I don't know. So what we need to start doing is planning for a full surround on their forces, and that means that we're going to get some of our units over here. We're going to get them in position to completely surround Jakobstad this turn. At least that's the plan. I forgot to switch that last one. That did not look like a great attack. 2 for 9. Not a great attack. They're down to 23. Well, it wasn't terrible, but the worst thing is, of course, they were going to retreat back into Jakobstad, which is making our future lives more difficult. We do want to end up surrounding them. I think you can move, you can stay or move, and it pretty much doesn't make sense for you to do anything but move. But I think the 63 should move forward so that we're in better position. I only want to occupy the eastern side of Jakobstad from the push from Duneberg. The northern and western parts are going to be covered by the units I already have over here across the Dvina. So basically, 16th Army is their response. So 18th Army is responsible for Riga, and 16th Army is responsible for Duneberg and Jakobstad. So we're gonna get these guys both have really good entrenchment. So I'll definitely sacrifice this 66 to get over here, and then we'll probably reinforce it with this 62 combat strength, the 126. I mean, I keep calling them by their big number, but that's just their combat strength, which is very, very useful to know, but it's not the title I should be giving them. This is not the 58th, this is the 3rd Motorized Division. Even the 3rd Motorized Division we might shift out of here. First order of business, though, is to shift some of 18th Army in across the river. So ultimately, when we do our attack... When we do our attack on against Riga, we're going to want most of our forces. In fact, I'm just going to move all these guys over. If the forces in Riga decide to cross this, they might put these guys out of command range or something. Good, yeah. I thought I did that right. We are barely in range there, but we are in range. So if they decide to come out of Riga and land here, that would be wonderful. Then when I attack them, they go over here. That's just fine with me. But I suspect that they are I feel like they are not that stupid is really the word I'm looking for here. So we'll get one more across the river. More attacking we can be doing next turn. And we'll even get the 269th part of 4th Panzer Group across, and maybe they can help defend over here. And we also have this motorized, which does not need to be here. Also, it's hard to tell where they should be. I'll move them just northeast for now. We'll leave them stacked there. There is this pesky tank. I don't really suspect that he's going to want to cross the river and come charge over here at me. But the sad thing is, part of me is a little bit nervous about him being this far forward. I think the 1st Panzer Division by itself could take this guy out, because he has the minus 25% bonus, we have the plus 78% bonus. We should just slaughter this guy. I suspect that this should be a total rout. Wow, that went a lot worse than I expected. A lot worse. I mean, we did inflict good casualties, but I was surprised we lost anybody, really. Anyway, but it did happen. At least they routed. We still beat them. 123rd, your job is to not cost me political points and come back on the north side of the army group lines. And I guess that's going to mean heading over here. Just to put nice pressure on. I don't know, obviously we also don't want our Panzer Division crossing over to that Army Group South territory. You might even stay where you are, or maybe move north. I just want to make sure that we are defending, like, there's a couple of weak spots, and the main weak spot that I see is the 12th Infantry is by itself right now. Technically, this unit could move over, in which case it would have been better for my 3rd Motorized to double up here. We don't want to do that though, because we want everyone ready to go for next turn, but I don't know what they're going to do exactly. I guess I can just dogpile people into this area. It is definitely the most likely spot to be attacked. So we're going to do all of that. And we need... Oh yeah, so you can come across. You should help defend this hex just in case. And you should come over here. Good. So now, already, for next turn, we have full surround on Duneberg, on Jakobstad. We're ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy card artillery, siege artillery. It's only gonna cost us 1 point. We'll play it here. So it'll arrive in 4 days, and after that, it will. I think it takes a whole nother turn for actually it to start doing damage, as I was already saying. So this is probably what we are done with for this turn, other than, I mean, I guess we do want to move across into Duneberg. Is anybody super weak? This unit is, but I almost feel like I don't want to defend it with armor. I guess, you know, it's hard to say, it's worth it, it's difficult, but let's go ahead and move one. Well, let's move. Moral support. We'll be behind him. I don't think he'll be attacked. It would be from these 2 units, but yeah. And honestly, we could just move him back so that he's not involved at all. I think we already have plenty of firepower for Jakobstad next turn, so... But at the same time, I wouldn't mind keeping him there just to put more pressure, and we're going to want to move north eventually. So that's Army Group North. Okay, now we have center. Last one before our turn is done. Decisions too, of course, but yeah. So there's this group of 5 infantry divisions, which, you know, they're in their own epic right now. There's a movie going on about them and their heads. They're trying to get back to friendly lines. They're behind enemy lines, right? I mean, it's a whole thing for them, and we can imagine that if they were to make it, we'd be telling tales about them, you know, at least the Soviets would. But our job is to make sure that that has a really awful ending for them, and that they all get captured. Again, I like to think about things from a death standpoint. War is terrible. So the question is, and this is the awful thing, like pretty much, for whatever reason, the 9th Army, I think they must have been interfered with by Hitler or something, because they, like, none of these units have any action points. And Hitler can come along and he will affect an entire army headquarters and all of its subordinates by sapping some of their readiness. But these guys also have like very low... I mean, they did the unsuccessful attack. So what I want to do is take the better of these guys, which is probably the other one. So this is the worst one, I think. I'm going to move him in. A wise individual might consider attacking the northeasternmost one first and pushing these guys back, and then we could just do a surround. But I'm a little bit greedy, especially greedy considering we don't have that much fuel. There is some concern that next turn we'll have mud over here. See, I don't know how the mud works. I've read things from the manual, such as you can't have mud 2 turns in a row. But I'm not sure if I dream that or not. Imagine it. Maybe I wish it was true. Or it might be that you can't have mud 2 times in a row in the same hex. Maybe mud can shift up here. I don't know. In any case, I want to kill off all these units, and I'm just gonna move. My 3rd Panzer Group is gonna be the ones to surround them and actually finish them off. which means that we're going to do an attack with the only 4. I know it's sad, but the only 4 9th Army infantry that we can. And the reason why I'm doing it in this order is also because since we can only get 4 sides of us round and only 4 units, I'd rather be doing that against 3 units that can retreat a hex than 5 units that are fighting to the death. So that's why we're going to roll the dice here and hope that this doesn't go too poorly. Okay, I think that this went pretty well. I mean, the fact that one of their units panicked is especially nice, so that 3rd Panzer Group has a slightly easier time. Not that we didn't take some losses here, we did. Yeah, 1,200 to 1,500. Barely over 4 to 1. A little. I mean, 5 to 1 is kind of like my minimum threshold to not be like a little bit discouraged by the results. So we didn't quite meet that mark, but at the same time, I'm not too surprised. It was a tough fight, despite surrounding 4. It was 4 versus 3. It's probably the best we could hope for there. Anyway, now we got to pile up all these units and get them to attack. And I think we can get a full surround on this one. So 58. Was the combat strength, obviously. 20th. And get around. That's the 59. So probably we want the lower combat unit. That one can't get around, so it won't. So let's take the 58. The 18th motorized is going around. 85. So barely. All it's going to do is initiate part of the fight, and then just GTFO because it's going to run out of action points pretty quickly. I think we will also use the other motorized over here. And then we're going to need 1 lucky volunteer. Oh, wait a second. That's not what I want. Okay, am I doing this right? There's no infantry left here, right? So we're going to have to attack with 2. Well, if we're going to attack with something, we might as well attack with the... There's 2 59s here. We'll attack with one of them. And then we'll attack with the 62 as well. Okay, so this is for all the marbles. I'm attacking from 6 sides. We have plenty, and they get the 247. We got a 200% concentric bonus, which, pretty good. I might even involve both of the strong panzer divisions here. I think overkill is our best hope to minimize the casualties. I don't think I'm going to involve the poor 14th motorized. They're just such a depleted unit. We'll go ahead and attack. This is going to take a ton of fuel, unfortunately. I see a lot of losses, but I also see that we did it. Okay, holy cow! I didn't even fathom. I mean, 5 divisions is, yeah. I mean, I guess it is 40,000 people. But we did take some. I mean, we did take some losses. 1,000 to their 40,000, but we also lost 1 Panzer II, 2 Panzer IIIs, 2 Panzer IVs. Look at, I think that those. I'm gonna take that. We still lost a lot of things that we. If this was a battle, several individual battles, I probably would be a little bit more upset about it. But the fact that this was at the, for the result of 40,000 Soviet troops, I think that those are acceptable losses. And I hope you all agree with me. Anyway, it is round. Thank you for the tip that this is where you can find out the round. It is round 8, which means that we're close to getting some replenishments. I have no idea how many of these... I really don't think I've taken this level of casualties like this early in the game. We're approaching the 100,000 mark, and my panzer groups. That I don't even know if that includes some measure of loss of life, casualties. For the if like you lose a Panzer II. Does that count in the Soviet troops category? I don't know. Because if it doesn't, then that number is missing a lot of individuals who have died on the German side just because we pushed our panzer groups intentionally to get all these surrounds. And they're much more depleted. Of course, that's what I was trying to say, is that my panzers are much more depleted than they normally would be because of the aggressive attack, aggressive style. Anyway, we have, speaking of Panzer divisions, the 10th Panzer Division. We are also going to push forward a little bit more in the east. Kind of some funny stuff I want to get going in the south. I want to make sure that this 59th tank is pushed back and that we retake the road to Gomel. It's fun. I love the narrative. You have this taken, and then we take it back, and then, you know, I just love that kind of stuff where it's like seesaw back and forth. Okay, good. It went well enough. We lost 400, they lost 200, but they also lost some AT and some tanks. I'm not sure if that's a good result for us or not, but at least we pushed them back. And I think I'm going to have the Cav actually step in and defend that. I'll get the infantry to come in and defend Gomel. Reason for that is, I was planning this ahead. This is a marsh and can only be entered by, you know, tracked unit. I think it can't be entered by tracked units. Oh, it can. I might. This is not. They don't have any motorized. Well, if they want to go and actually cut me off here, they can. I don't know what that will mean. I always push this unit way down here. Let's see where my HQ is going to end up this turn. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up here. And that means that you technically will be in supply, in command range down here. So again, the 4th Army is going to take over the duties of the Panzer Group in the south, 2nd Panzer Group. Guderian's going to be tasked with controlling the Smolensk to Bryansk area. This more foresty area is going to be given over to the infantry. It also expands pretty rapidly, unfortunately. Anyway, so we need somebody to help out down here, but that reminds me, we have another card we have to play, a really cool one. Reinforcements. Deploy the 2nd Army HQ to Army Group Center. So we're not allowed to deploy this anywhere else, but we can deploy it on all the roads here, and I think it kind of makes sense to me that we deploy this directly to Orsha. Just get them pretty far forward and ready to go. So we're gonna get a stack of units piling into Orsha as the turns go forward, and you can see 2nd Army's already, the headquarters is already there now. So we're going to be moving out. I'm going to try to shift 4th Army a little bit further south now, because that's ultimately where their destination is. Where do we want to go? And I think there's 2 units, maybe just 1 unit that can go there. Yeah, you can go there, but you can also assist, or somebody else could. Is here. Was it you? I thought I had another unit that could. Oh, you can go there. Okay. I'll probably do that. Yeah. So our goal is to keep 4th Army south of the river. That's ultimately where we want them. Since the 78th, Hugo, he's going to be north of the river just for a little bit, because, we'll get him down there eventually, but he could move further east if I just moved him down, so we moved him down. The 10th Panzer, let's get this guy moving up to here. We also got to move our headquarters forward, so we need to keep this unit in. Oh, yeah, we need to move these units forward, too. I forgot to do those. Now that we've actually moved... eliminated the pocket of units here, we can move these guys further forward as well. Get this one here. This guy was part of the attack already. We'll just get him 1 hex forward. And now I think, okay, you can move there, you can move there, but you can move all the way over here. So you'll do that. 64 will stay a little bit behind, and you'll move here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we need to move, I guess. We can move it here. Alright, that's the ideal then. Or here. We'll just move here for now. That gets everyone in range. We're really close to these guys. They can now move forward. I mean, we were waiting to eliminate the zone of control to move them forward, but now we can do that. Okay, we'll move you there. Yeah, I think we'll move you here as well. Maybe here. Good. Alright, so 9th Army's all set. 3rd Panzer Group also is going to have to move forward, no doubt. Oh yeah, definitely. I guess I'll park these guys just west of the river. And then they're going to have to move into this hex. I can't keep them on the road, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not true. I can keep them on the road. Oh, no, because we have this unit over here, which will be out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Alright, we'll move here then. Keep all of them in the range, and the 5th Infantry Division is going to have to be... You're holding me back a little bit, so let's make sure we get you into, like, a little bit further south, or at least further east. I still see the merit in moving this unit there. We're almost out of fuel, but I don't think there's going to be any movement for any of the Panzer divisions and Guderians because the mud cost is just too prohibitive. So we will move this unit forward, so we double stack that. It's at a knee, an elbow in the line, so that's dangerous to begin with. And we'll have to also move the Panzer Group division forward, but probably going to want this one to start shifting its way south. And you can help out. Where would we want you to? Maybe with this motorized division, which is by itself. And we're going to want to start like shifting those guys north. So yeah, we need to shift south. That gets back to you. I think I am going to move you all the way over here. You can jump into the woods next turn. And unlikely that we could... Well, we actually can get the Cav if we move forward to here, beyond east of Mogilev. And you know what? That's actually okay to do because eventually our trucks are going to be out of Orsha. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, well, 3, 4. Either way, it's the same. So we might as well just move forward, which gets that Cav into operational range. And that means only 34th Infantry is out of operation range, which is it's music to my ears to get these guys all back under our command. I need to see who else didn't move in who already spent fuel to do so. I think it's worth it to move then. So both of these guys. And I think I'll keep them there for now. Like, our fuel is just almost completely dried up, so we're going to have to be a little bit more conservative with its use for the rest of this little end of the turn. How do we want to do this with the forces by Vitebsk? Do we want to try to move into the middle here? Do we want to try to take these guys? I mean, this is 2 army headquarters, right? Very juicy target, but our fuel's about to dry up. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to be able to do anything about it. I think what I'll do is just be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, continue to be aggressive, I guess. This is not mud, okay. And we'll just move both these units into here so that they're ready to go next turn. And I don't think I'll even move these panzers forward since, again, we're a little bit limited on our fuel. How much it takes? 82 to move that one, 78 to move that one. Orsha's in good defenses right now with the Panzer Division and, more importantly, much more importantly, the SS motorized. So we'll see. I don't think that they're going to make any movement south, and I think that all we need to do is mop up the rest of the 4th Army. By mop up, I mean move them forward. So yeah, you'll go down there. That's good. Well, you can make it all the way to Orsha, so that's probably the best thing for you to do. Right there. Interesting. I'll move you here. Go south. I mean, I think it's actually a medium river here. And it's a large river here. Yeah, major river. So in theory, it's better to move forward and then cross on after Orsha. So I'll move the 134th into the north area. And if I get the other HQ back, I think that's all. Yeah, good. So all the 4th Army is getting into the area I want them to get to. And I think that's done with Army Group Center. Kind of not too much we had to do. Not a whole lot of fighting. I mean, I guess the big fighting was, yeah, just finishing off that one pocket.
We're going to wrap up the video here, and we'll do the decisions and the end turn in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.